Hello and welcome everyone. We've got a round 6 matchup here, your second to last one that'll be going down. It's going to be myself, Bregan123, and pddcm taking on SE Warmachine and the first SkaBoss here tonight. And to have our casting duo here, I'm going to go ahead and introduce two fine gentlemen. We've got Invoker of Legend, and I'm Kanye West.
Hey everybody.
Okay.
And they're going to take over doing the casting for me, so I'm going to go ahead and turn the time over to these guys.
Okay, so apparently this match started out with one match not being recorded, but we do have a little bit of a written recap here to give us an idea of what happened, and I'll go ahead and go over that real quick here. As the match started, it was on Refinery. Bregan and PD chose to start on Refinery. Bregan running the Tiger Strength and Psycho with a lot of parabolas, and PD running a more conservative reincarnation deck. The two of them got off to an early lead, but Warmachine managed to drop a pretty nasty memory lapse hang up on the locker there, which is not against the rules as it is a soft hang, which rendered Bregan's arsenal pretty useless for several minutes. Bregan did try to use a crush on it, but he was countered by the memory lapse amulet combo that Warmachine did have. PD ended up playing 1v2 for a while, and SkaBoss ended up using a little friendship doppelgang combination to get their reincarnations up to +2 damage, and they gained a healthy lead. Bregan then managed to reach the soft hung environmental using an expertly executed dash, as he only had one shot at it to come off of those boxes onto that locker. And with no shields remaining, Bregan and PD were in a pretty tough spot. It came down to a really close finish. SkaBoss ended up dying in the lift, which made it pretty tough for his partner to pick him up. And it just ended up being that PD and Bregan were able to finish it off with a pretty nasty big bomb that dropped on top of Warmachine. So it was an exciting match from what we understand, but unfortunately we don't have video footage of it. But hopefully that recap gives us enough detail to sort of understand what did happen, and we'll be going into this in the second match. Do you have any idea what's going to happen here in the next couple of matches, Kanye? What are your predictions?
Well, since we fought them, they're a pretty good team, Warmachine and SkaBoss. So hopefully they give Bregan and PD some good matches right here.
And remind us how that match turned out.
Well, so I will remind everybody that in the very first podcast that we did in Club Baroness here before this all started, when I was asked who my dark horse pick would be for teams that might not be expected to go far to the tournament that possibly could, my pick was SC Warmachine and the SkaBoss, first SkaBoss, and a lot of people were kind of scratching their heads at that, but I think that as the tournament has progressed here, we've seen that my prediction wasn't too outlandish. Kanye and myself did have a pretty exciting match against them, and they actually have had proven to be our first opponents that were able to beat us to that point and since. So Warmachine and SkaBoss have definitely turned a lot of heads here in this tournament, and they're facing a pretty much it's kind of like a giant slayer situation here, where Bregan and PD are one of the top teams in this tournament and undefeated, but where you have a team that has been upsetting as much as this, you got to hope that there could be another upset here tonight.
Gotta go for the underdogs.
Yeah, I'm rooting for him. Hopefully that tilted shit-talking Bregan gets taken down finally. So whenever we're ready here, I guess we might as well count it down and get it started.
All right, we'll start the video in 3, 2, 1. I'll start recording now.
All right.
Here we go.
I got two boost mines in the middle.
You guys started going backwards?
This is a fantastic start right now for Bregan, especially since his partner had a pretty bad aura start. Able to help him out there.
Ow.
Gonna be running vibration.
Hit by that Thor's hammer though.
He's in mid-animation.
Bregan again off to this incredibly fast vibration start. Now he doesn't quite have it, but one more aura will do it, and you gotta think he's gonna grab it here on his next draw.
Nice.
And there it is. laser and blaster in hand, but he is going to eat that rock shot, and that +2 is looking pretty rugged over there. Accuracy on Warmachine and damage on SkaBoss. Bregan just getting caught in the crossfire right now. He is able to dish out some of his own damage, and that Angel's Wing is going to be good. He takes the rock shot.
There you go. Oh, he dies.
Bregan is dead, but it looks like a fairly easy pickup for PD. SkaBoss is not looking very good on health himself.
Yeah, PD's pretty healthy right now.
We've got a lot of stats in this game. Armoros or Return to Nature could be a big difference here. Breaking the the glacial wall there with his vibration laser, but also eating a meteor. And Bregan's just kind of getting picked on here. But to no avail, as PD is sort of having his free reign of it and doing a lot of work himself.
Oh, he fell down.
Yeah, he's in a bad spot here.
Yeah. No shield.
No shield, and up against that vibration laser, that's a tough spot. And a pretty brutal and quick round 1 win to Bregan and PD there.
Round two.
Round two, that's right. I'll correct myself. That's true. There was already a win that I had mentioned, so now we're going into the third game here. 2-0 Bregan PD.
Where's mine?
Getting a look at those arsenals here. All right. I'm going to have to go back to that and sort of study those a little bit and figure out a little bit about Bregan and see what I can learn there.
Not much need to learn from rock shot.
Oh man, I'll tell you what, he uses the rock shot, but he uses some other stuff too. It's not just a rock shot.
They're on your favorite map?
Oh, my favorite, yes, of course, as everyone knows, Panorama. I love how people play this map. That is me being facetious at its best.
I think Bregan's playing the same arsenal he played against.
I'm coming out for you.
Is this? It could be the one that we saw before with the friendships.
No, just one. Sorry.
Quickly boosting up PD. Already has the +2 speed and +1 damage. A little bit of a support arsenal here.
Look at the pick on Bregan team. They showed up again.
If you decide you want plus speed, let me know.
Everybody wants
recognizing
to play
recognizing that Bregan is the support here and targeting him. Now that's an interesting choice though. I think I would probably target the boosted opponent as opposed to the support, but that's just me.
Yeah.
Now the Doppelgang is going to come out, and there isn't much of a difference between the two, but he is going to eat that Psycho Blade.
Willow went right through him.
Or was it a Blazing Sword?
Alright, he's off Blazing.
I believe it was a Blazing Sword, and as we hear PD call out, he is now off of Blazing. He also is shieldless. Warmachine's going to eat that Fire of Gehenna. A lot of stats again here. You know, you would have thought that an Armoros or a Return to Nature would have been something we would have seen in this kind of a situation.
Decoy. That's pretty funny.
I'm coming back out.
Running the decoy. No shields still from SkaBoss, which is proving to be problematic, although using those walls to his advantage to get around those reincarnations.
Let me see what I got here.
There's the Armoros that I've been calling for the whole time.
I got Armoros.
And that makes a big difference. Armoros Watch is going to be huge here. PD is going to be moving around like a god right now. And that kind of power and that kind of player's hand is going to be a pretty devastating force here, if I had to guess. Also, PD with the Armoros Watch. That's really been playing very smart Phantom Dust here, carrying that, very aware of the fact that they're stat heavy and reliant.
I'm dropping my decoy for Flame Sword.
And the Lunar Force as well. This is going to be a tough spot for Warmachine and SkaBoss. The fake out there on the fortress is good.
What was that hole? Was that Earthquake?
I'm not sure I did see it.
Must have been gravity press then.
PD rocking no shields, feeling pretty confident, but then eating a Fire of Gehenna as a result.
Takes that War
Get
Machine.
away, sorry.
Oh.
SkaBoss also with no shield. It's not looking very good here for the pickup with no shield, but he does manage to make it, amazingly. And staying alive.
Broke a flash hole on Warmachine.
Breaking the flash hole there with the reincarnation, as we see a lot here on Panorama. The decoy is being thrown around still by SkaBoss.
How did he not get hit by that?
This is for arrows?
Still the whole time.
It looks like a Lucifer Zero coming out of, is that PD doing that?
Yeah, PD.
And that is a deadly attack on this map. It's really just, there's so much that you think you're safe from that you're not when you have that coming down. No standing still allowed. A little bit late on that fortress for Warmachine. Would have been nice if he could have gotten that flame sword off of Bregan, but not managing to do so. Looks like they just broke that fortress there. The flash hole is going to take the reincarnation, which is pretty big.
Let's be careful.
Bregan and PD all of a sudden on the back foot here.
Do that to me. Wings of Hope me.
No shield on PD and a combined total of 5 HP, but Bregan also taking that flame sword with his fortress. It's gonna eat that. Is that a Wings of Hope that I was seeing? I'm not sure.
2 more friendships for you if you want to come for them.
2 more friendships as we hear Bregan calling out. Looking to boost up PD just that much more.
I would have threw that Warmachine and Armor watched him.
Warmachine does manage to get taken out by that flame sword, and PD is now walking around as a killing machine.
+4.
+4.
Oh, 7
And
damage.
Bregan getting a bit excited by that. It's probably I would as well. That's
Yeah,
gonna do it.
damn.
In dramatic
Oh,
fashion,
Oh, shit,
with
back
a
of
very
that
boosted
yeah,
Lucifer's
That was
arrow.
a nice fight right there.
A pretty intense fight there. We had some stat boosting going on, some armoroses going on, and really just the skill and experience of Bregan and PD showing there that both players having the Armoros watch just in case, knowing that they're
Yeah, those
relying on
almost
those
watches were
stats.
clutch.
Oh, really did those come in handy. Another 3-0 sweep coming out of Bregan and PD. And have they lost a single game to this point? I don't think they
No,
have.
They haven't fought us yet, that's why.
That's right. That's why I mean, once they fight us, obviously they'll lose
They'll
all
get their
3
first
games
loss, yeah.
in a row. But I wasn't going to go there. But
I went there.
that is fairly impressive that they've gone through 6 rounds of this tournament so far without losing a single game. And this here is not a schlep of a team that they're facing. It's definitely a formidable opponent, and there's nothing to shake a stick at there. If you consider Bregan and PD to be anything other than a top-seeded team, then I think you better check your facts here. Very exciting.
All right.